Hi, my name is Jen. I am a soon-to-be self-published author, bumbling my way through the process from first draft to first publish. And most of the videos I've been putting up have been about the self-publishing journey. Um, but between not posting a video last week and posting, it's midnight and I'm just starting to record this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about Mother's Day and why this week has been so hard for me. Um, as most of you already know, I lost my parents back in 2017, and usually, of all the anniversaries and holidays that remind me of that season, Mother's Day is usually not one of the difficult ones. Um, the first couple of years, yes, but it was one that cauterized more quickly, I guess you could say. But this year has been really brutal for well over a week now. I actually, for some reason, a series of events thought it was Mother's Day last weekend, and it's been a rough 7 or 8 days. And I want to talk about why. To some extent, human emotions are unpredictable. Um, but I do think that there is a reason that with a book about to come out, I'm struggling a lot more with missing my mother. In the past, when my parents were alive, I had a closer relationship with my father. I was always a daddy's girl. We would get up and drink. He'd drink coffee. I'd drink hot chocolate super early in the mornings. It was kind of our time. And so, um, and I it's not that I didn't have a good relationship with my mom, but I had a closer relationship with my father. Um, and it was a lot harder processing some of the loss associated with my dad. Um, but a big part of my relationship with my mom was the way that she supported me as an author. So when I would write blogs, she would edit them. There's been a dramatic decrease in the number of blogs I've posted since she died because I would run things by her. I'd type up an idea and I'd send it to her, and she'd proofread it and edit it. When I was working on uh, epic fantasy story when I was in high school and college about a mage named Rose Thorn, my mom was the one helping me build timelines, and she was the one proofreading everything and editing everything. And where my father supported me from a career perspective, and they both loved me very much, most of my mom's tangible support came in the form of supporting me as a writer. And I remember the first time I wrote a blog after she died and not knowing who to send it to or how to get it proofread, um, because there are things you just don't catch in your own work, no matter how many times you read it, and that's why you have other people to do that. I remember just how rough that was, and I remember that it's been a struggle ever since. I've written probably, like, I don't know, I'm gonna make a guesstimate, 10, maybe 15 blogs in the last 7 years. And that's a big part of why. But there's something different about holding a copy of my book. I had my beta copies come in the mail, and they have copyright page, and they have a table of contents, and they have the glossary, like all the things. I've got some art in there from one of the artists that I have been testing out to see if they're going to be the one I go with for illustrations. I have some of the journaling pages. Like, everything is starting to come together. I got it in 2 different sizes that are not 8.5 by 11 size, that I got the original alpha test in. And holding it and going, this feels so tangible, so real, that this is happening on October 1st. And it's been really, really hard to recognize that that's happening without my mom. And at the same time, something my dad cared a whole lot about was me getting a house. It's probably second only to caring about me getting married. He wanted me to have a house, and you can see I have no books on the bookshelf because I'm packing, because on June 1st I'm getting a house. And it's so exciting to have these milestones happening this year. It's amazing and wonderful, but there's a bitterness to the sweetness that comes with recognizing that, like, they're not here to be a part of it. And that has been really difficult for me in ways that it hasn't been in the past. And part of it might be waking up more to my heart. The more that I have written, the more that I have engaged myself on a heart and soul level in ways that I had pushed aside while I was pursuing other priorities. But I think a really big part of it is there's these huge milestones, of buying a house and publishing a book and this Bible study, I know how excited my parents would be about it. And it has been so much harder this year. May 4th, which is International Star Wars Day, which is why I never forget it, is their anniversary. And I had someone reach out to me to be like, hey, may the 4th be with you. I know this day meant a lot to you. And like, for some reason that was really hard to go like, oh, it's my parents' anniversary. And again, these are anniversaries that are usually not as difficult for me. And I really think it is because of how much I want them to be a part of this process. And they're not. And they can't be. And yeah, I'm a Christian, so I believe that I will see them again. I believe that we will celebrate together in heaven. But it's just different. Like, if things ever change and I ever meet the right person and decide to get married, yeah, I know my dad will be excited, but it's not the same as having him there to walk you down the aisle. And I think it's that same sadness that comes with the excitement of this really, really, really cool thing that's happening. I'm publishing a book. Everything is on track. Things are coming together. The book looks great. I've had multiple people read it and say, like, this is ready to go. I have other people still giving feedback. Like, obviously there are still steps to do, but it is becoming more and more real every day. And I think that is why this has been so difficult for me these last few weeks. So I know my whole brand, Imperfect Progress, is about being willing to be imperfect while making progress. But for some reason, it's still hard every single time that I get in front of the camera or I sit down to write, to be that raw and emotional self. And I cried a lot today. And then I put together a puzzle, because that's a thing that my mom and aunt and I really had in common, was we like to do puzzles. And just spend some time thinking about, like, the good things and how wonderful it was to have parents as great as mine. So I know this probably isn't a perfect video. I don't plan to edit it. I'm not going to put fancy graphics, and I'm not going to cut up all the ums and uhs, and I'm not going to put music in the background. I just wanted to sit here today and be real and talk about what has made this season so sweet, and yet at the same time have that taste of bitterness in it, and where some of my difficulty has been with being real. It's hard to sit here and put on a smile and pretend like everything's okay while there's just this ache of wanting to share this season with my parents, and I can't. And I know that it'll be equally hard if I ever get married, if I ever have kids, like, if that is in my future. But there's just something about this. Like, this is a thing that Mom and I talked and dreamed and planned for. And it's happening. And she's not here. And that's really hard. So I don't have a wonderful, happy way to end this. I just wanted to just give others space. I mean, I know Mother's Day is a wonderful day to celebrate the people that raise us, but it's also a hard day. It's hard for people who want to be mothers and aren't, and it's hard for people who want to call their mothers and can't. And I wanted to make space for other people who are feeling like I am, where your mom's not there to call. And I hope that you can be encouraged that it's going to be okay. I know my mom is proud. I know my mom is excited about what's happening. I'm so thankful for the people that have served a mother role in my life. I don't want to dox them, so I'm not going to start naming names, but especially my aunt, who has served a mother role really since my mom left for heaven. I talk to her like 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm so thankful for people that have stepped up and been a mother for me, but it's still not the same. And I hope that anyone out there who has a similar challenge just knows that they're not alone. Well, anyway, so that's what I wanted to share today. Next week I will give an update on choosing sizes for books and formatting and page layouts and margins. I've spent a lot of time on all of those things, so that is what I plan for next week's video. Just wanted to be a little real today, talk about something a little bit more difficult maybe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me, and I'll see you in the next one real soon.